Hi there, my name is Kate, and I'd like to welcome you to The Ghost Rider. Today we're going to be talking about the Walker-Ames House, which is in Port Gamble in Washington State. So this house is over 137 years old, and it is a hot spot for paranormal activity in Port Gamble. Port Gamble is a really small town in Kitsap County, Washington, with only a population of 839, and that's based off of the 2024 census. It's known for its New England style homes and historic charm. It's now a popular wedding destination, but it was once a bustling company town. It was founded in 1853 by Josiah Keller. The village was originally called Tecalet, meaning brightness of the noonday sun. The name eventually faded, and Port Gamble became the village's assumed name. And I mean, it was so small, it was a village. The town's growth surged with the construction of a mill in the middle of 1853, which would later be known as the Puget Mill Company, founded by W.C. Talbot and A.J. Pope. And this mill transformed the small village into a company town where many of the homes were meant for mill employees, and a lot of those homes still stand today and are actually declared as National Historic Landmarks after the mill closed in 1995. So that's the history of the village proper, but in the surrounding Port Gamble area, there's quite a bit of Native American history. So the Battle of Port Gamble happened during the 1850s, and there was just a lot of unrest between neighboring Native American tribes. So the tension was getting really bad, and the tribe that is local to Port Gamble, the S'Klallam tribe, were willing to give up their land in exchange for protection from the U.S. Navy. So the Navy promised that they would send a ship, right? They promised. The ship was sent, but on the way to Port Gamble, it hit a reef, and it had to detour to Seattle, Washington for repairs. So they were left without protection, and things just continued to reach a boiling point, and there was an imminent threat. So finally, the Navy sent another ship. It was a steamer called the Massachusetts, and it arrived by 1856 to try and negotiate with the Native American tribes, and they offered to provide them passage to Canada. So, sorry, things suck. There's a lot of tension, but hey, do you want to go to Canada? So yeah, they said no, and war ensued. It was cannonball fire and gunfire. In the end, 27 Americans died, and only one man from the U.S. forces died. And this man's name was Gustavus Engelbrecht, and he is memorialized at the Port Gamble Cemetery. And this is something that kind of really bothers me, is that they memorialized this Gustavus guy, but the other 27 people that died, there's nothing. So there's no direct evidence linking this event to the actual hauntings of the Walker-Ames house, but it's important to note that tragedies do often attract paranormal activity, and a lot of people will say it's because of the negative energy. Negative energy will attract other negative energy, and I don't think this is false, because in places where really bad things have happened, even in surrounding areas, you just get the really heavy sensation that something bad has happened there. So now let's talk about the history of the Walker-Ames house. The Walker-Ames house was built in 1887, and this house was built to be the residence of the manager of the mill. And so the first manager that lived there was William Walker, his wife Emma, and their daughter Maud. So later Edwin Ames would take over as the manager of the mill, and he would actually live with them. So he would also marry their daughter Maud. Got the manager job, got the daughter, and he lived in the house with them. So he got the house too. And the house then became known as the Walker-Ames house. Little is known about what happened in the house between when they moved out and when the house was abandoned in the 90s. So let's talk about the hauntings of Walker-Ames house. The Walker-Ames House is renowned for its paranormal activity. There are a lot of ghost tours through this house. And there's even a Port Gamble Paranormal Conference, which is crazy because the town is so small. So who knows? Who knows who goes to these things? The ghosts that are said to reside in the Walker-Ames house are the ghosts of children's spirits and a nanny. So visitors often hear giggling and playful voices in the attic, and toys have even been left as trigger items to get a response from the spirits. A trigger item is something that people believe the spirit may have some sort of connection to or may be drawn to interact with. And paranormal investigators will use this a lot to try to communicate with the spirit. And in a clip linked below from Aghost TV, you can see that they're trying to get the spirit to respond by making a toy light. So the other ghost that resides in the house is a nanny ghost, and it's often seen looking out of an attic window every 6 weeks, and only every 6 weeks. The Walker-Ames house has been featured in TV shows like A&E's My Ghost Story and books such as ZMD, Zombies of Mass Destruction by Greg Olson. And it's also the setting for the 2014 movie Squatters, which really did not do well in box office, so I wouldn't be surprised if you never heard of it, because I had not. The house is open for visits, as I talked about a little bit earlier. The Port Gamble Paranormal Society offers tours and investigations of the house, and if you do decide to go visit, I definitely would recommend exploring the entire town because the entire town is said to be haunted. So who knows what other spirits you might encounter. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spooky stories. Have you ever visited a haunted house? Let us know in the comments below. Spook you later. Bye-bye. See you later. Spook you later. I actually like that.